it's Nell with Little Yellow House Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. It's been 3 weeks. I apologize. It's been a little longer than usual. We had 2 birthdays in our family in the last 3 weeks. One was Easter weekend and another one was last weekend. So we've been a little busy. It's been a little too crazy for me to film a video. But the good news is that because it's been 3 weeks, I have a lot to show you and some really exciting fun things. So thank you for joining me today. If you're new here, hello, my name is Nell and this channel is mostly all about cross stitch. I'm a cross stitcher and that's like my main hobby. That's what I love to do. Occasionally I do dabble in other topics, and I am actually going to film a second video today for those who are interested in our Disney trip. I got a lot of good feedback about that, so I am going to film a separate video so that those of you who aren't interested in Disney World and the Disney thing, you can skip that video. But if you are interested, I am going to film that video, so just hang tight and it's coming. I want to apologize. I have a new phone. Finally, I got a new phone and I film all my videos on my phone, and I'm trying to figure out where the camera is, and I think it's there if I'm looking at the right place. So I apologize if I'm not looking directly at the camera. I'm still getting accustomed to this new phone, but the quality of my videos should be better. It's a much better camera. So for those who are interested, it's the iPhone 12 Pro, not the 12 Pro Max because it was too big for my hand, but this is the iPhone 12 Pro. So the camera in this phone is like really good. So I hope the quality is good and that you'll be able to see everything, but I'm still trying to figure out where the camera is. Anyway, how have you all been? We've been great. We had a wonderful Easter. We had great celebrations for 2 of my sons this month. So many birthdays. Last weekend, we took a family trip. My husband was able to not have to work on a Saturday, which was a miracle. He almost always has to work on Saturdays. And we took a little family trip to Merrimack Caverns. If you're from the Midwest or from Missouri, it's a cave system, huge cave system here in Missouri. We'd never been there before, so we got to do that last weekend, and that was really fun. My boys loved it. So if you're in the area, highly recommend. It's not too far from St. Louis, maybe an hour and a half from St. Louis. From where we are, it was about two hours. Very doable in a single day. We just drove out, went through the cave system, had a picnic lunch, and drove home, and we still had time to do some Saturday things. So highly recommend Merrimack Caverns. Let's get to the stitching. I have 4 finishes for you. I know, crazy. 3 of them are smaller and 1 is huge and a big deal, so I'm excited about it. Let's start with the 3 smaller ones. A couple of videos ago, I told you that I was feeling like I wanted to work on some of my Halloween stuff in April. I don't know. But I did. I pulled out my Scary Apothecary series by Hands On Design, Kathy Haberman, and I went ahead and finished 3 more from this series. I was just really digging it. So the first one I finished, obviously, was Skeleton Polish. And as a quick reminder, I am stitching these on orange, green, and purple linen by Zweigart, and using threads that I chose myself. I'll show them again. So I kind of zhuzhed up the color a little bit, made it a little brighter because that's more my thing. But so the first one was Skeleton Polish. I chose to stitch Skeleton Polish on the pale orange linen, and it looks fabulous. I love it. The colors look so good. Skeleton Polish, no tarnish varnish. She's so clever with her words. This is a small, like fat 16th cut of the pale orange by Zweigart that I purchased at 123 Stitch, and it is the perfect size to fit 2 Scary Apothecary patterns on it. This first one, Bat Balm, is one that I did, I don't know, last year sometime. And then on the other half, I've put Skeleton Polish. So that was the first finish. Then I decided to do Spider Legs, serving size 8. Again, she's so clever. Love it. So this is Spider Legs, and look at that. I love how the colors turned out on this one. We've got spiders everywhere, and these I believe are like carnivorous plants. I think they're supposed to be like Venus flytraps or some other, pitcher plants or some other carnivorous plant. And I really enjoy how she did this one. She did the web design outside of the main sign with like negative space. So all of the negative space is stitched, and then the actual webs are left unstitched. I just think that looks really cool. So this is the light lime linen from by Zweigart from 123 Stitch, and you can see I didn't really get them lined up exactly, but the other one I have on here is Cauldron Cleaner. And now spider legs on this light lime. And then the last one that I finished from this series is Broomstick Fuel. So cute, and as you can probably guess by the pattern we've been following so far, I stitched this one on the lavender linen. Broomstick Fuel, broom vroom. I love that. Broom vroom. Love how the broom turned out on mine. I changed the colors around quite a bit on that on the broom bristles, and I really love how it turned out. So that's Broomstick Fuel on that lavender. The other one on this is Cackle Lozenges, Shriek Well. So that's Broomstick Fuel. So now I have 6 of the 9 of these done, 2 each on the purple, the light lime, and the pale orange. I have 3 more patterns to go. Let me show you my little, and I have another fat 16th of each of those fabrics so that I can do that last one. And then I'll have extra because there's only 9. But those are my linens, and the patterns I have left. I have Coffin Paint. This one will be going on the orange. I have Snail Slime. This will be going on the purple. The thing says, it's hard to see on this one, but it says, what does it say there? Snail Slime. Take a slug. That's what it says. Take a slug, like a gulp. Take a slug. Snail Slime, that will go on the purple. And then the last one that will go on the green is Bitter Brew for a Foul Scowl. So I really love these. These are just the cutest patterns. They're so fun and Halloween-y. I can't wait to get them finished up. I think I will be finishing them up as she did here, but hanging them like from a garland, so it's almost like pennants at Halloween time. So I gotta get them finished before I get too carried away with how I'm going to fully finish them, but nice to have 3 more of them done so I can put these charts in my already stitched folder. And these I'll keep all of the finishes in the project bag with the ones that still need to get done. But I love that. I got 3 more done. I only have 3 left. So, oh, I was going to show the thread again. Yeah, I'm 2/3 of the way done with that series. That feels good. I'm looking forward to getting it done. I want to address something. I had someone reach out to me either last video or the video before, and they were feeling kind of discouraged because they love watching my videos, and I have a lot of progress and I get a lot of finishes, and they were asking, you know, how do you do it? How do you stitch so fast? How do you get so much done? I have so many whips started, like, you know, over 50 projects started, and I can never feel motivated to finish any of them. And I just wanted to take a minute to address that because it is true. Here's my threads. Aren't they great? I love how bright and fun these threads are. But it is true. I do get a lot of stuff finished, but I just want you to know that that is my personality. Okay, so have you heard of the Enneagram personality test, or Enneagram? I can't remember how it's pronounced. Enneagram or Enneagram or Enneagram. Anyway, it's a personality test that you can take, and it categorizes you to your percentage of each of 9 personality types. Okay, and my two strongest personality types, like 98, 99% match with these two personality types, is a type 3 and a type 1. And if you're familiar with the Enneagram, you will immediately know what that means. A type 3 is an achiever, okay? A type 3 is a common type for performers, people who love, you know, getting in front of people and performing, people who really love achieving things, completing things. And then my other type is a type 1, which is sort of a perfectionist, someone who, you know, really likes rules and likes getting things accomplished and likes getting them done right and following the rules. And so you just need to know that my stitching reflects my personality, okay? I like to finish things. I love to get a finish. And I love the process of stitching, yes, but I am not a process stitcher. I wouldn't call myself a process stitcher. I am a finisher stitcher. I like to finish things and have them be complete and done, and I can put it away. When I get too many projects going, you guys know my max is about 20 whips, and then I just start to feel anxious. Like, it's too many. I gotta get some stuff done. So just know, if you watch my videos and you feel badly because you don't have as many finishes as I do, or, you know, you have way more whips on the go and you never, you know, you rarely get finishes just because you start so many things, it's fine. It's totally fine. Our stitching should be a reflection of our personalities, and our stitching should only bring us joy and not stress and anxiety and guilt. So if you don't get as many finishes, who the heck cares? As long as you are having fun, as long as you are finding joy in your stitching, and as long as your stitching is a reflection of you and who you are as your true self, who the heck cares, okay? If you feel like you need to get some finishes, watch a few of my videos and just live vicariously and finish things vicariously through me. It's totally fine. Sometimes I wish I was less of a finisher because there are so many things I'd like to stitch and I just get anxious and I wish I didn't. So I just wanted to say that because she was really down on herself about the fact that she doesn't get as many finishes as I do. And maybe you don't have as much time to stitch as I do, okay? Please bear in mind, I am a stay-at-home mom. Yes, I have 3 little boys, and yes, I am very busy with homeschooling them and taking care of my house and feeding my family and doing laundry and all of that. But just the fact that I am at home means that I can find 15 minutes to stitch several times throughout my day. Sometimes I get an hour. When my youngest is napping and my oldest 2 are downstairs for rest time, if I don't have any pressing like household work to do, I could sit and stitch for an hour on my couch in the middle of the day. So just, again, bear in mind, my life is not your life, and my personality is not your personality, and so just enjoy it, okay? Don't feel guilty. That's the last reason that I want someone to watch my videos. I don't want you to feel guilt, okay? Anyway, that's enough of that. Any other type 3/1s out there? Raise your hands high. We are fun. We are fun people. We are friendly. We are optimistic. We are upbeat, but we're also a little uptight, and we get a little obsessed with rules and perfection, and, you know, we require patience as well. I'm not ashamed, but every type has its strengths and weaknesses. So any other 3/1s out there, let me know in the comments. Anyway, here are my threads for my Scary Apothecary series. You can see I really did zhuzh up the colors on this because I love me some bright colors. These are so fun and Halloween-y. We got bright oranges, yellows, lime greens, this nice like bright blue, a couple of purples, and then some grays. And it's really fun. It's an unusual like Halloween color scheme, but it really works with this series. And if you want to know like details of which colors I'm actually using, I think I've read them out in past videos. I'm not going to read them out now, or feel free to send me an email if you want to know the exact colors I'm using. But anyway, that is the Scary Apothecary series. Sorry for the personality tangent there. it made me sad when she said that watching my videos made her feel guilty and down. And I was like, that's not good. Please don't feel that way. All of our personalities are different. Okay, next finish. This is a big one. Okay, so what brought this on is I started thinking about the state fair this summer, the Missouri State Fair. I have entered the Missouri State Fair 2 times in the past. I was going to enter last year, but then it got canceled because of COVID. And so I'm really excited to enter the state fair this summer. And this state fair is going to be a special one because this will be my last Missouri State Fair for the foreseeable future. We will be finishing my husband's medical training, his residency, next June. And the fair is in August. So we will have moved by the time the fair comes around, and we will be in Texas by then. I might be able to enter the Texas State Fair, but most state fairs have like a minimum residency requirement. Like I think you're required to live in a place for at least 6 months or a year before you're allowed to enter pieces. So I likely won't be able to enter any state fairs next summer, which is sad, but you know, that's life. So this is my last year to enter something in the state fair. And I'm giving you guys hints about what I finished. Anyway, I was looking through the state fair requirements and all of the different possible entries for cross stitch. And I decided I really wanted to try and enter as many categories as I can because it's my last chance, right? And there are, I think, 9 categories that I am eligible to enter. For example, I can't enter the junior cross stitch division because I'm not under 18, and I can't enter a piece under like the machine cross stitch because I don't cross stitch on a machine. So of the ones I am eligible to enter, there are 9 categories. And I decided that for one of the categories, the nostalgic category, I wanted to finish Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street Sampler. You guys, Plum Street Samplers, plural. You guys know I've been working on this for years. Liberty's Welcome, this is what it looks like. It's absolutely massive. The stitch dimensions of this piece is 349 by 211. And bearing in mind, I'm stitching this on 40 count. So this is huge. So much solid stitching. All that grass is solid stitching. The house is solid stitching. This, you know, really beautiful but fairly ornate border on the 2 sides. There's a lot of stitching in this. And I pulled it out and I looked at how much I had left and I was like, no problem. So in 2 weeks, I busted it out and finished it. Last time you guys saw, I had everything to the left of the carriage and up from here and over finished. That's everything I had done. I had not finished this motif, the little sheepies, those are sheeps, the flag, these 2 blue stars, the over 1 writing, and then this left-hand border. And I still had a little bit of the border on top, a little bit of the border on bottom, and a little bit of grass still to fill in. So pretty much everything from there over was not yet done. And so I pulled it out and it's all I worked on for 2 weeks and I got it done. I'm really, really proud. As a reminder, I stitched this piece on a piece of linen that was gifted to me by a subscriber to my channel years ago, before we even moved to the new house. She sent me several pieces of Lakeside linen, 40 count, several fat quarters of Lakeside linen. It was one of the most generous gifts I've ever been given. And so I stitched this on vintage pecan butter or vintage pecan butter, depending on where you're from, by Lakeside. And it was a fat quarter, 40 count, beautiful linen, a dream to work on. Lakeside is one of my favorite linens when I'm working on higher counts. Yeah, just love their linen. And I can't believe it's done. Are you ready? Dun, 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 dun. There it is. Liberty's Welcome is finished. So here's all the stuff that's new. Sorry, this piece is so big. That little bush with the yellow flowers, the sheep, the 2 blue stars, the flag, the over one. This work wrought by me, N. Cunningham. Barely could fit my last name in the space on the bottom, but I got it to work out. I probably could have moved it a little closer to the wagon wheel, but meh. And filled in all of that freaking grass, so much grass, so many hundreds of thousands of stitches of green grass. I used up 1.5 full skeins of NPI silk stitching 1 strand. Okay, that's how much green is in all that grass. Finished the border. The border matched by some miracle. The borders matched, which means nothing. I didn't lose a stitch or gain a stitch anywhere in the border, which just feels like a straight up miracle. So there it is. Liberty's welcome. I can't believe it's done. I'm so pleased. I love this vintage pecan butter. I think it is the perfect fabric for this. If you've been watching my videos for a few years, you'll know that I changed the color of the house. The house was originally a color very close to the color of the fabric, and I didn't like that, so I changed the house to white and just used my white NPI silk. Changed up the color of the window frames and the columns by the door, which were originally white. I had to change them to kind of a light bluish gray, but worked out great. And now, you know, the house isn't lost on the fabric, because it would have gotten lost on the fabric had I kept it the same color. So that is Liberty's welcome. I'm so thrilled it's done. I cannot believe it. This one will be getting professionally framed, although stretched and laced by yours truly, because I don't trust framers with my, let me rephrase that. I don't trust big box store framers with my work. If I had a local like framer who specialized in needlework, I would trust them, but I don't have one here. So I stretch and lace it myself, but I order the frame and the mats and stuff from Hobby Lobby usually. Anyway, that is Liberty's welcome. So I will be taking that in to Hobby Lobby in the next few weeks to get a frame and mats ordered for it. I'm not 100% sure yet what I'm going for with the framing on this, but I'm so thrilled it's done. I'm so excited that I'm gonna get to enter it in the fair. This baby better ribbon. It doesn't need to get the blue ribbon, but it better ribbon in its category, because this was so much work. It's so much work, and I'm so proud of it. This was like, is this my first like huge 40 count piece that I've ever finished? I think it is. I have finished large projects before, but they've never been on 40 count. I think this is my first like 40 count piece I've ever finished, large 40 count piece. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. So anyway, that's enough of that. I stitched it on the 40 count vintage pecan butter, as mentioned. I stitched it with all of the called for NPIs. These, they have DMC alternates, but I chose to use the NPI silks. I really just decided to splurge, and here they are. They're in here with over here, these are my silks and cottons for my Heirloom Nativity Sampler, and this pearl cotton is for the Heirloom Nativity Sampler as well. All of these are my Liberty's Welcome silks, my NPI silks. You can see the white is nearly gone, and this is all I have left of the green. This is my second skein of that green 348, and I don't have a whole lot of it left either. So anyway, those are the beautiful silks by NPI. And it's done. Can you believe it? Okay, next we go on to whips. Those are all my finishes. I had no fully finished objects because, hello, I was stitching like a maniac trying to get Liberty's Welcome done. Then I took another look at the categories for the state fair and tried to decide what else I'm going to enter in, and there was one category that I didn't have something already finished. Almost everything else, now that that's done, 8 of the 9 categories, I had things that I've finished in the last 2 years or so that are eligible to enter, and I don't need to finish anything. The one category that I don't already have something completed is this category of samplers. And at the Missouri State Fair, they specify that it has to be a traditional sampler in as much as it has an alphabet or numbers on the sampler. So for example, Liberty's Welcome, even though it is a sampler style piece, it wouldn't qualify because it doesn't have an alphabet or numbers on the piece. So I only have one piece in my whip bin that would qualify under that category of samplers. It's only about 1/3 of the way done, but I decided I was going to do my darndest to get this thing done in time for the state fair. So it is all I have been working on since finishing Scary Apothecary and Liberty's Welcome. All I have been working on over the past week or so, in the last 5 days since I finished Scary Apothecary, is a Snooty Parrot sampler by Barbara Anna Designs. Do you guys remember this? I started this several years ago. I didn't really get bored with it as much as I just had other things that were calling my name. And so I hadn't worked on this in a long time. What I had done, I'll hold it a little closer. I started at the top. I have all the sampler alphabet and numbers done. I had this vase and stag and Adam and Eve and the tree done, and this little gold lion down here, and that was it. I did not have this other side, this basket, this vase, the sun, or star, whatever that is, and the other stag, and I had not brought the border down. So I decided to go ahead and start here and finish this, up to this point, finish all of this stuff here. And then I started going down and I actually started working on this first parrot. The thing that I realized is that all this writing in the middle is going to take a couple hours max. Writing goes really fast for me. I think it does for most people. It's all one color. It's quick and easy. Once I get this done, all I'll have left is the bottom, and I think I can totally get that done before August. So to that end, we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But here is the Snooty Parrot sampler. This one I am stitching. This was another piece of that gifted fabric. This is 40 count Meadow Rue by Lakeside Linen. I don't know who wrote these tags, but they have the most beautiful handwriting from Traditional Stitches. 40 count Meadow Rue by Lakeside in a fat quarter. And it's beautiful. It's a little deeper than the vintage pecan butter. It looks very antique. I love it. So here's what I had of the alphabets. Here's what I had before stitched, and that is what I have now added. So I added, the vase with the flowers in it, all of this, the fruit basket, the sunburst, the stag, some more initials, which I'll talk about in a minute, another little tiny flower that's stitched over one on 40 count. There's another one of them over here. I already did that one. And then I stitched another one. And then I went down, brought the border down. I haven't added the flowers to it or the berries or whatever they are yet. But I started my first Snooty Parrot. This is the Snooty Parrot sampler. And I started my first Snooty Parrot. I'm almost done with it. I need to fill in the wing and then add the branch that it's standing on. And the first Snooty Parrot is done. After I finish that, I will go over and bring down the border on this side and do the Snooty Parrot on that side, and then I'll fill in all those words. So, yeah, that's where we are. This, I think I can get this done in time for the fair this summer if I really work hard and concentrate on it. And so that leads me, before we move on to that, to discussion of that, let me show you the threads I'm using. I am using the called for threads. They are all by Gentle Arts. I cut these much shorter than I usually cut my threads, and I'm not loving it. So next time I won't cut my threads quite so short. But yeah, they're all Gentle Arts. Rhubarb, cranberry, sea spray, baby spinach, bayberry, onyx, dark chocolate, apple cider, Grecian gold, oatmeal, and 1 DMC for the skin of Adam and Eve. Those are my threads, very prim, very pretty. They look great on this fabric, on this Meadow Rue. I really am enjoying it. So to that end, my goal to have this done in time for the state fair this summer, I have decided that this year for Stitch Maynia, I'm doing something a little different. It's almost May, which means Stitch Maynia time. In the past, I've had lots of new starts during Mania, or I've alternated a new start with working on an old whip. I've done all kinds of things for Mania. Sometimes I've only done Mania like 1 new start a week. I've done Mania a bajillion different ways. This year's gonna be my first year stitching a monogamous Mania, which means for the entire month of May, I'm going to stitch on nothing but this. I'm going to set a goal for myself to stitch on nothing but this. I will probably be so bored with it by the end of the month. But the thing is, if by the end of the month I'm really close to finishing it, that will motivate me to finish it, even though I'll be probably bored of it by then. Being that close to a finish and wanting to have it in time for the state fair will totally motivate me. So I'm doing a monogamous Mania this year. I've never done one of those before. I've never tried to stitch for the whole month on one project, but I really want to try and get this done so I can enter it in the fair. Is that a stupid reason to want to finish something? I don't think so. It's the only piece I can enter in the sampler category, so I have to get it done. One little thing just to note about this pattern, I'm not going to show this up close, and I'm not going to, because it is chart, and so I don't want to hold it up close. There is one unfortunate thing about this pattern by Barbara Anna Designs, and that is that there is no, you know how in charts that have multiple pages, they will often have like a shaded section that shows where it overlaps with the next page, continuing the design. This has no shaded section, okay? They go straight, like it ends here and then you go on to the next page and it picks up. And there's no way to like align your stitching with what you've already stitched. And unfortunately, this vase here that I just finished stitching was on 4 different pages of chart. A top left, a top right, a bottom left, and a bottom right. My brain was nearly exploding trying to figure out where to start things and how many stitches when you go on to the next page, but there's no reference about how many you've already done. You can imagine what I'm describing, right? It was really, really challenging. And so I did go ahead, and you can see like this Frankenstein thing I taped together. I made photocopies of the four charts, cut them all up, pasted them together so that I could do this section that's on those page breaks much easier. If you have a similar pattern where you have that issue, highly recommend. Make copies, cut them to pieces, jigsaw them together, and scotch tape them down. So much easier. My brain no longer hurt trying to get that vase stitched. I apologize for showing the chart. I hope it was far enough back that you guys don't feel weird about copyright. Last thing I'm gonna say, these initials right here, MB, those are for my mom. That is my mom's initials. On the other side, I have BB, which is my dad's initials. And there are 6 initials on this pattern. So the top 2, I did my parents. There's a set in the middle underneath the Snooty parrots. Those will be my in-laws, my mother-in-law's initials and my father-in-law's initials. And then there are 2 sets of initials on either side of the house at the bottom of the pattern, and those will be my initials and my husband's. So I'm doing our initials and then my parents and then his parents all on there. So that's who MB is. BB is my dad, MB is my mom. And yeah, so that is Snooty Parrot Sampler by Barbara Anna Designs, my monogamous Mania. I've never done one of those. I don't know, it'll be interesting. I am gonna lose about 8 days from Mania for our trip. our Disney World vacation. I probably will bring something else to stitch on, something small. So I guess it's not purely monogamous, but you know what I mean. I'll bring something small to work on if we have any downtime where I feel like stitching. I'm not counting on it though. But I'm not gonna bring this 40 count without my light and my readers, and my whole setup is just not gonna work. So I will lose that 8 days, but the rest of May will be Snooty Parrot Sampler, and we'll see how far I can get. Let's talk about some haul. That's my only whip. All the other things I worked on are finishes. Let's talk about haul. I got my very first Color and Cotton thread shipment. I joined the Color and Cotton monthly thread club back in February, I think it was, when spots opened up. As soon as I saw the email, I immediately went and signed up, and I think within a couple of hours, all of her spots had gotten filled again. So do what I did. If you want to join her monthly thread club or her fabric club, you got to go to her website and get on the waiting list, the email list. And whenever like spots open up, she sent out an email to everyone on her email waiting list saying, spots are open, sign up now. And so I did, I jumped on it. I went ahead and signed up for all 10 skeins. So she does 10 skeins of limited edition threads every month, and you can sign up for either 5 skeins a month or 10. I did all 10 because I don't have any Color and Cotton, and I was really curious, and I got my first shipments. So let's bust into these. If you already get Color and Cotton thread, you can ignore me right now, but I'm curious about it. So the first 5 I got, oh, so pretty. I got Kris Kringle, which is kind of a prim pinky red. I got Flamingo. Look at that bright coral. It matches my shirt. I love bright coral. I wear it all the time. Flaxen, which is a nice flaxen color. Sorry, it's got lighting's doing something weird. Everest, which is an icy blue, and Silver Lining, which is a silvery gray, obviously. So that was the first set of 5. And then in the other package, because I get all 10, I got Canary, beautiful pale lemony yellow. That's gorgeous. Tiger Lily, beautiful orange. Jasmine, gorgeous, like, it's not like a grape purple, it's like a lilac purple. It's got more pink in it than blue, if that makes sense. Lullaby, which is a lavender, a gray lavender, and Nightshade, which is a beautiful like periwinkle, dark periwinkle. So those are my first 10 threads from Color and Cotton. Whoops, I dropped Flamingo, my most favorite color. Those are my first 10 threads from Color and Cotton. I'm thrilled to have them. I'm so excited to stitch with them and start incorporating them in my stitching. You guys know I use all of my hand dyeds all the time. I almost always change the colors of pieces, and I take threads from my Victorian motto and my other hand dyed. So I'm excited to add some Color and Cotton to that stash. Next haul, I got my Victorian motto. These are my March colors. I love these. These are a little bit more prim, and they all have like 17th century names. They're really beautiful. They remind me of like 17th century like court dress, if you can think of like medieval English courts. 17th century, that's what, the 1600s. So that's just after the Tudor period kind of time frame, before, I think it's before we're getting into 18th century, like Louis the 16th kind of fashions, kind of that in-between time frame. Anyway, you historians out there, correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, these are gorgeous. These are very historical looking, like court dress. Look at these colors. Oh, dying. So we have 17th century Amazon, which is this beautiful like yellow and green. That's gorgeous. We have 1812 Green Valley. Oh, that makes me want to listen to the 1812 Overture. where they put cannons and classical music. 1812 Green Valley, a beautiful like primitive green. We've got another beautiful lemony yellow. I guess it was the month for lemony yellow. 17th century buttermilk. Oh, that's pretty. So very nicely variegated. I'm curious, just really quickly. Let's hold up 17th century buttermilk and canary. Nearly identical. Look at that. Canary has ever so slightly more orange creaminess, but it's extremely slight. And then 17th century buttermilk is slightly more lemony. But honestly, you could interchange these two and no one would be able to tell. That's so funny. I've got matching threads for my 2 different thread clubs. I don't mind that, by the way. I love getting like things that are similar because I often use up my threads. Remember, I use them all the time. So that's 17th century buttermilk. We have 3 more. Oh, 17th century copperware. Look at that. That is so pretty. That beautiful like coppery orange. Gorgeous. 17th century featherbed. It's a kind of a gold. Love that. And then 17th century schoolhouse, a beautiful primitive red. So really pretty, all like 17th century stuff, except for 1812. But you know, the 1812 Green Valley is the only one that wasn't a 17th century name. But anyway, love these colors. So rich, so like royal looking to me. I don't know. I'm a huge like English monarchy documentary nerd. I've watched probably every single documentary there ever was made about the Tudors or medieval England or any of that. I just think it's fun. Last piece of haul, we have a new, well, it's not really new. We have a new thrift store in our town. It's not actually a new one. It just changed to a new location, a much bigger location, which was exciting. And so I went and checked it out and I found this frame. There's a sticker on it still. It was $1. And look at this. It's like already been chalk painted. It's already been chalk painted, this nice kind of antique-y off-white color. So perfect for framing something. I won't have to buy a frame. There's even some gold peeking through. So I think that the frame underneath might have had this little fillet. By the way, if you don't know frame speak, fillet is what they call these little like additional pieces they can add to your frame to make them more fancy. And this little fillet here looks like it's gold. And then this frame is brown wood, and someone painted over it in a very like rustic kind of way. And I absolutely love it. It's perfect. I don't even have to do anything with it. I'm pretty sure this is an 8x10. It looks like an 8x10 to me. And I found that at our thrift store for $1. So finishing materials, right? Love me some thrifted finishing materials. That is everything, guys. Sorry, I have a price tag I don't know what to do with now. We'll stick it there. That's all I've got for you guys today. I hope that was fun. I hope that, you know, you have been enjoying your stitching. I'm super excited to have Liberty's Welcome finished, and then I can now go get it framed and get it entered in the state fair this year. Hopefully I can get Snooty parrots done. I guess we'll see, but that's all I've got for you guys today. If you are interested in Disney, check out my other video. I'm going to go ahead and film it today, but I probably won't post it until next weekend, just so there's not too many things posting on the same day. So keep your eyes out for that next weekend, and I will catch you guys in a couple weeks with another cross stitch update. Okay? Take care, guys. Bye.